Welcome to the Jack Halford podcast. I'm Jack. This is my podcast. It's just me in the studio talking about random shit. I just got pissed off because the phone connected to the laptop, and I record the audio on the laptop, and the visual part on my phone, and it's just having connection issues, and it really pissed me off. That's annoying. Sometimes there's a lot of annoying things in life, and you're just like, I keep doing that. I keep having problems, and then being like, But you just got to be like, Who gives a shit, you know? Because we're all gonna fucking die. So nothing matters. Because we're all just gonna turn into fucking worms. Which is the constant thing I have on my mind, is death is coming, so just fucking get stuff done. Just do stuff. Don't worry about how it looks too much, just get it done. Do it yourself, just get it done. Do the rough thing, do the slapdash thing, and then neaten it up on the second version. Because if you don't just take action, and if you don't just do things, then you're never going to learn anything, you're never going to get anything done, because you're just trying to perfect it the first time. It's never going to be perfect the first time, because it's the first time fucking doing it. Isn't it? People have talent, sure, but you don't just wake up with the ability to just be able to do anything perfectly. You have to sort of hone that craft. So if you're trying something new, or if you have a problem doing something, just remember everyone's probably had that problem. So it doesn't make it any less frustrating, but it's okay to be frustrated. I think if we weren't frustrated sometimes, then we wouldn't enjoy things when they don't go wrong. Okay. Something along those lines. It's good to look at things and try to pull out a positive from them. It's good to be annoyed by something every now and again, because then when you're not annoyed, and you can feel the not annoyedness. These contrasts, they remind us that we're alive. If we were numb to things, then that would just be terrible. We wouldn't have any feelings about anything. That would be terrible. Are we even existing? Just be grateful for the fact that you can even feel annoyance, because if we couldn't feel that, then maybe we'd feel quite empty. Just because some people can't feel anything. So just be grateful, like the fact that I can poke myself with this fucking pencil right now and feel something. Some people can't, because they've got fucking nerve damage and shit. So just be grateful for all of those little things that we have the ability to feel. All this, it's great. I think I'm trying to be like that, especially after my dad died. It was Father's Day yesterday, so I'm just like, second one without him. Bit weird, but we had a nice time, because I went out and had a nice time. I took myself out with the missus to a car boot, and it was nice. We had some nice food. You can choose how you feel. Sometimes I think you can choose to be like, I'm gonna have a shit time and I'm gonna dwell in this pool of crap, or you can be like, no, I'm gonna go and do something positive and I'm gonna feel good. And it's okay to do both. I think it's important to sort of dwell on things sometimes, especially in the grieving process. You gotta just feel things, and you gotta think about stuff, and you gotta process stuff. But at the same time, you don't have to be a negative all the time. It's good to just be like, I'm gonna go and do shit. It makes me feel good about myself and being productive. And also, it's just a resting thing on a Sunday. It's just good to rest. So just get some rest done. Yeah. Gratefulness, just putting yourself through painful things sometimes. That we're always talking about this voluntary adversity stuff, and I get it from the Rogans and the fucking Goggins and all of this sort of stuff, and I do it my own way with the cold plunges and the running and stuff. Just doing things that I've just moved out. I mean, that's kind of into a new place that I'm not familiar with, and I've joined a gym that's shit. It's not as good as my other gym that I'm a member of. It's not a strongman gym, but I'll get used to it, and I'll create a workout plan that works for me in that particular gym. So it's a gym specific workout plan, some kind of 3 or 4 day split that I do, shoulders, tries, back, buys, chest and tries, and then a whole day of legs. But they don't have as many brilliant, equipments as the other one. But it doesn't matter, because there's a swimming pool and a sauna and all of this other shit that I'm yet to try out, because I don't really do that type of thing, because it's a bit, I feel like the sauna might actually have some health benefits, so I might have to try that. And the low impactness of swimming probably good for my joints rather than running, although I do enjoy running and how it makes me feel good. So yeah, embracing the uncomfortableness by just fucking moving out. I didn't even tell anyone. I was just like, yep, doing that, just gonna do that. I wanted to do it for a long time. Now I just did it. Now I've done it. That's cool. But I've been like all over the place. This is why I've not been so consistent with the podcast as of recent, is because I've got a new the job and the artistic career and this thing, the relationship and the moving outness, and I'm just like blah blah blah. But I've done pretty well to keep up with exercising and eating kind of semi-okay, 80-20, so that's good. Sometimes life is like blah, 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 and that's okay, because you want it to be like that. You want it to be like that, not like that. That. And that's where the voluntary adversity comes in, because it's just training your brain to be okay with things going slightly wrong, because they are going to inevitably go wrong. So just fucking train your brain to be able to deal with that when that happens, and then you'll be calm, cool, collected when things go wrong. I get smacked and called names and shit at work by the kids I work with, pardon me, and that teaches me temperance, which is one of the 4 Stoic virtues that I try to practice: temperance, wisdom, courage, and justice. I think truth is in all of these sort of things. I think that honesty and truth is part of all of those things. To be empathetic is an incredibly important thing. Even to like the worst of the worst, because you've got to realise that I think everyone is capable of that, doing whatever they've done. Even though you may not think it, you may, go through similar experiences that have led them to that moment. And it's about understanding that when you go through certain things or you're hit with certain things, that it's about how you respond to those things that really matters. So, that's why you've got to put yourself through shit, so that you're okay. You're just cooler and calmer when things come your way. You're just like, okay, let me just wait for a minute, and then I'll be alright. I'll be cool, and yeah. I wrote Sasquatches down. I went to watch a film called Sasquatch Summer, which was directed by the same dude who directed Midsummer. It was such a good film, and there's no like actual dialogue in it apart from which is which is what I think makes it brilliant. And it was so beautiful and funny and great and sad and happy. It had like everything in it, but with no like dialogue like this. Like there's no sort of actual speaking, just noises and facial expressions and things. And it's just how amazing that you can have over an hour of cinema with just that, and to keep the audience engaged, and not just engaged but enjoying it. It's just, that's a skill right there. So I would recommend you all go and see this film. It's very good. Go there with an open mind. Don't go there on a first date. Go there with someone you're comfortable being in silence with, because you will enjoy it more. Cinema's the worst thing for a first date. Don't take people on a first date to the cinema. You go to the cinema to enjoy an immersive film experience. If you're thinking of someone else when you're watching a film, you're not going to enjoy it. There's no point doing that. I don't like that. So yeah, that's my advice. But go and watch this film, because it's one of the best films I've seen this year. Sasquatch. Yes. I've also written down running without headphones, because that's what I did today, and I think that's something to talk about. The running without headphones is going to force you to be more in the moment and to be thinking less about all these devices and things, because they say the first thing in the morning you should be doing is just going outside, getting the sun in your eyes and breathing in the fresh air, not to be looking at these devices and hearing the outside world straight away. So to not to put those fucking things in your ear and ignore the world around you, because when we put headphones on, because of whatever reason, it might make you anxious to go outside and be in crowds. But if you put those headphones on, you're blocking that out, and it will just get worse and worse. So by putting yourself into these situations and actually having this sort of sensory stuff put into your ears that otherwise you'd block out, you're getting used to that. And you've got to sort of practice this just consumption of the stuff that's making you feel uncomfortable. You just consume it more often, and you're going to get used to it, and you're going to be better off, and you're going to be able to do more. But the more you put things off, and the less you consume of the uncomfortable, the more uncomfortable you'll be in the long run. If you're just feeding yourself comforting things all of the time, then you're going to end up like this plump, useless lump of crap, and that's how you're going to feel too. So running without headphones is good. Also, you're not going to lose your headphones and drop them, and it's just easier to just run without headphones. All you need is the stuff, the clothes, like some shorts and some running shoes, and then you go maybe a bottle of water if you're going like over 5k and something and it's hot. I generally don't take a bottle of water out with me unless I'm going over 5 miles, because I just don't see the point. But if you're just getting into running, have no shame in putting a vest on with a hydro pack for a fucking 2-mile run. You might need it. You might not be used to running. So just wear whatever you want. But I would say get used to running without the headphones, because you're going to be able to do a lot of processing as well about what's been going on in your mind if you're not listening to what someone else is saying. But also the music sometimes is good, because the lyrics might speak to you and help you to think about something that you've been putting off. So yeah, it's good. But I would say just try it out, because it's good. Because it's good to just be in the moment, and then it would treat this exercise as more like a mindfulness activity, which I think is good, because it can ground you in the moment, which is nice. It reminds you, look, this is all we are, fucking blobs, moving about in the fucking air. We can do anything, jump over walls, kick shit, shout randomly, you could do stuff. Yeah. So running without headphones, cross that off. Car boots, unhinged places, full of characters that you wouldn't otherwise see anywhere else. There was a man. He had trousers on over tracksuits, and the trousers were like cut off, but like quite high up, so they're like 4/5 length, and these weird shoes, and just like had a radio on, and he was a bit like a hobgoblin or something, and had all these spades, and he was brushing a spade to get dirt off that he was probably going to sell for 50p to someone. Why do people do car boot sales? Because they're not making a lot of money, they're getting rid of crap. But some people go there on a regular basis, and they don't seem to be selling stuff for a lot. Is it for the community? Is there a reason they go? And the types of people that go, there's all sorts of types of characters you get there. It's brilliant. I would implore any one of you to go to a car boot sale in the United Kingdom, because it's just an experience. But don't go there looking at everyone and really sort of making them feel self-conscious, because there is bargains to be had. That's why I go to them. But I'm talking about the stall holders that are regulars. They don't seem to be making a lot. I just like, why? Something to do. Maybe. Something to do. But anyway, after that, I went to a farm shop, because we wanted to get some like a fry up or something, and obviously it was Father's Day, so we couldn't get in because they were all booked up. So instead we brought some of the best meaty products in the world, and I cooked our own, and it was delicious. Cooking yourself is the best. You know what's going in it. You can get more for your money than going out to eat. Even though I love going out to eat, you get more for your money. It's the best thing ever. So yeah, do that more. Do that. But local farm shops are the best. Go to a local farm shop and buy local produce. It's good for the local economy. It's good for you to be ingesting things that haven't been messed with by random fucking people in factories and stuff. This has been made in your local vicinity by local people. They're just putting local pigs in the sausages. It's just a local cow. It's a local sheep. Yeah. Local hens. Tasty eggs. Tasty meat. It's all good stuff. And generally farm shops don't sell much shit. It's just whole foods, which is good. There's less temptations. Fresh OJ, nice. Less queuing. Less shit music. There's normally no music, or maybe a local radio station on. And you're not supporting some stupid big corporation that exploits people and pays them shit and rewards them with really crap parties that they don't even want to go to, and just awful, and probably give them like awful employee benefits, like 5% off fucking clothing company they're never gonna even bother to even use. So it's just a piss take, really, these companies that make so much in profit and don't really give their employees the benefits that they would really need. I think it's part of the sort of capitalist plan to keep you desperate. They don't pay you enough so that you have to continue to work, type of thing. I mean, that's just how businesses work, isn't it, really? But we don't have to have businesses work that way. You can start a cooperative, you can pay your employees and see them as partners that you collaborate with, and we all get paid equally, or at least fairly, for the amount of work that we put in, so that we can live a more comfortable life where we can actually sustain our lives and do what we want to do most of the time, rather than doing something we don't want to do most of the time, which is work for other people. Obviously, you need people working in agriculture and in the types of jobs that produce food so that people around the planet can eat. We can do that on a more local basis. That'll be better. I think that these big supermarkets offer a lot of choice, which is kind of good, but also probably not. What we really need is all of the whole foods that we can grow, instead of having big factories where they take fucking fields and fields of, I don't know, fucking corn and fucking weird fungi and make weird things that are unnatural, and they say, oh, look at this natural thing, but really it's just like corn that's been fed through lots of different processes, and then they're giving you this thing full of like, oh, concentrated this, that and the other, and you're just like, oh, awful. So go to the local place, get the local stuff. Less money going into the pockets of these greedy bastards, corporate whores, the better off you'll be. You want to support the people that are supporting you by giving you the good local shit and supplying jobs to local people and making sure that the local people who they employ are alright. And it's, you know, your boss is going to know your name. It's just better. It's just nice. I think that's, yeah. No, I'd say I was an anti-capitalist, but I would also say that I'm working it because I don't really want communism. I'd like slight socialism. I'd like social housing. I think is important. I think that nationalising maybe some energy company type things, or just really having better caps and better laws and things around that, restrictions, especially for the waterways. There's less sewage being dumped into these things, and obviously the National Health Service is amazing. That needs to be funded more, and education too. So utilities, education, healthcare, all of these things need to be sort of a social thing. That's why we pay taxes, and obviously authority, like the police force, there needs to be better training within the police force so that there's less, you know, fucking dodgy shit going on, corruption. Yeah, so kind of socialist, but also I like the freedom of capitalism to be able to sort of build yourself up into this amazing, humongous, big, rich fucker, because obviously I want loads of things, and that's okay. But also I don't want all of those things for myself. I want to help other people as well with that. So I kind of do believe in that capitalist idea, but also I believe that everyone should just be alright, so we should have some kind of social thing. I mean, that's what taxes should be used for, obviously. That's why we're paying them, you know. Dustbin, the roads to be paved, literally just national infrastructure. And I think part of that national infrastructure that helps everyone to be alright and the country to run smoothly is if we were all healthier. And we're going to be healthier if we have a shelter, a safe place to live, and if we're not fucking bleeding out of our heads waiting in a queue to try and get a bandage on it at an A&E, or fucking going insane because there's not enough mental health services that we can access. So yeah, I bring these things up because I'm passionate about them, and because I just think that I'm allowed to share my opinion. I live in a fucking free country, and if we don't express our opinions, then we will lose that, you know, right to express our opinions, like to protest and to just fucking talk about what you want. And it's good that someone can disagree with me and that neither of us are getting shot in the head. Do I think that's cool? I think that's cool. I think that freedom of speech is fucking cool. So we need that, yeah? Not to say that we shouldn't also have private companies, but to have private companies compete with maybe the nationally run things, so maybe they could do it cheaper and more effectively, but without exploiting anyone and without sort of damaging the fucking earth when they're doing it. That's good. And maybe if they compete and then the government sees that and they're like, we'll buy this off you now, thank you. Like a big sort of power move, that's cool. But just making sure that they're paid a good amount or whatever, I don't fucking know. But there's certain businesses that should definitely be just national things, I think. Obviously not like a fucking bakery, hairdressers. You know, I feel like everyone should be allowed to do things in their own special way. But like main infrastructure stuff, no. Like there needs to be some fucking order and restrictions and things. Yeah. Because that's what makes us more free. I think you need rules and regulations in certain places. I think that we should have the ability to have the free movement across the world. That would be pretty cool. But then you think about terrorists and you think about criminals. Then I'm talking about violent criminals that commit violent crimes. That's what I'm concerned about, really. It's fucking violent people. Violent people, maybe fraudsters, who, you know, just dodgy fucking people. So there needs to be checks and things. But you could have that and still have the freedom of movement around the whole planet. You can have the checks just to be done really well. So I guess you'd have to have different one to different. I guess that's how it already works. There's a reason why things are the way they are. So to think that there's not, and to think that everything is just unfair, is a really stupid point of view, isn't it? I think. There's a reason why things are the way they are. Look into it. Don't just complain and think, that's probably that way because this happened in history. Right? But if we change that now, that might have a negative effect because there was a reason. What was the reason? Was it racism? Or was it the fact that something, drastic happened? I fucking know. But what's important is safety, isn't it? Safety. Yeah. Different points of view in my head, arguing with each other, is the best thing in the world. Because if you just think one way and you don't even question your own thing, then you're never going to really come to a really brilliant conclusion, which should then also be looked at every year and sort of edited, just as government is. And laws are changed over time as the world changes. We have to continually change things. We are in a constant state of flux, and that's an important thing. If we really want to, make this life the best possible life, we need to change. If there's no change happening, then it's just going to be fucking boring. So you need to look at even the fucking horrible things as positive, because that thing might well lead to the best thing ever in the world, and you didn't even think that, but that thing needed to happen in order for that thing to happen. So just a sigh, whoops, well, I guess those 100,000 people are dead now, but oh well. On to the next thing, or the blah blah blah, blah blah blah. It's not cold. It's just there's nothing you can do about it. It's already happened, but you can affect the future. So how are you going to affect the future? By making sure that thing that's already happened doesn't happen again. You just look for the warning signs of that thing happening again, and then you nip it in the bud. And that's also a good thing to think about in business. You're like, when that disaster happened, this person made a lot of money. Why? So if you look for those signs again of something whirling around, you think, well, how did that person make money during that disaster? Maybe I can make money during this disaster. There's always a way to make money. So stay calm and look, how can I make money? That's sort of a horrible thing to think about. But yeah, something I've been thinking about. Because why not? I'm just going to look after myself. Everyone you know and love is going to die. And you're still watching this. Why? Twat. You're listening to a stranger on the internet because you're a twat. Or you're bored. Why? I don't fucking know. Sometimes I think, why the fuck am I doing this instead of walking around in the park? Do you ever get fed up and you're like, why did I sit around looking at the ceiling for 20 minutes? Well, maybe you needed to do that. Maybe we just need to do that sometimes. I mean, I listen to podcasts because I just like listening to them. But I don't know if is it a good use of time or not. I could be reading a book. Is that a good use of time? Is anything a good use of time? Is that a valid question to even ask? Is this a good use of time? Maybe we just do stuff and don't think about why we're doing it too much. Just fucking do it. Overanalyzing. Analyzation. Is that even a word? Overanalization. Overanal. Anal. Stick a finger up your bum. Did you know that prostate exams now don't require you to even have a doctor come and stick a finger up your bumhole so they can feel your lovely prostate and see if there's any weird things going on there? Now you can just go and get a blood test. So if you're thinking, I'm putting off the prostate exam thing, ask about getting a blood test, because then you can figure out whether you've got prostate cancer or not with a blood test now, which is an important thing because there's a lot of men out there that might be at risk of that. So go and see if you can get one of them if you're worried. There you go. I got that from overanalyzation. But I think often people, me, other people I know, most people, are in a state of rumination, especially with work and with fucking relationships and family and life. We're thinking a lot, and we need to step back and look at ourselves doing that thinking, that overanalyzing of everything, and be like, what a fucking retard right there, standing there fucking thinking all these thoughts like a twat. Go outside and look at a fucking tree, because you're gonna die one day, you twat. What the fuck are you doing? Go and feel a leaf and feel all the different fucking textures on a fucking leaf, and then go back to your fucking head and say to your ruminating self, stop fucking overthinking, you daft fucking cunt, and go and fucking feel the leaf more, you stupid twat. You know what I'm saying? Fucking that was well good, wasn't it? Yeah, see, that's fucking Zen. Buddhism ain't, is it? It's just taking yourself out of yourself and then looking at yourself over there and then coming back into yourself and going, whoa, what's going on there? You don't need to take drugs to do that. You do not. You just have to do something slightly different to usual routine. Shake it up. Like a Taylor Swift song. Shake it off. Shake it up. Who knows? Yep. Men's clothes are really boring a lot of the time. I say that because I'm going to a wedding in like two or 3 weeks. My best mate, I'm going to be his like best man type of thing, drive the car. And I'm just thinking how boring all the fucking clothes are that are available in like Moss Bros and stuff. So I'm definitely going to look at vintage fits and try and just make my own cool outfit. Men's clothes are incredibly boring. Do clothes need to look a certain way? Why do we care about these things? But I do think that they matter. But I do think they matter. If they make you feel good about yourself, then they matter. I don't think fashion is that important to keep up with, but I do think that just wearing things that fit you and are comfortable, and if you want, they're a bit out there because you like the fucking quality of the thing, that's cool. But men's clothes are fucking boring. There needs to be something done about it. I kind of like the plain, I kind of like the tonal, subtle things. What I'm more interested in is cuts of things. I do like men's wear, even though I just said that it's boring. I like it. I like different shapes and that type of thing. Why am I talking about this? Because I'm designing some wedding stationery type of shit. So that's what I've got on my to-do list. Which, by the way, if you're stuck for ideas on business, think about designing and printing wedding invitations and orders of service and things. It's pretty fucking easy. All you're doing is typing up a list, putting it in a font, and you can take it to a printer's, or like a company I know that does printing and have lots of different types of paper, and you can get them to do it all. Or you can get them to give you all the nice bits of paper with rounded edges, and then you can go and print it yourself with like letterpress or screen printing. And these are all things that you can learn how to do on YouTube. You don't need to go to university. These are all very easy things to do. If you just watch someone do it, you can learn how to do it in a couple of weeks if you get obsessed with it. That's a good way of making money. You could charge a bomb, because you're not charging for just the materials. Remember, you're charging for your own time, and you want to be charging, a considerable amount for your own time. Even if you were just charging, minimum wage times 10 and per day or whatever, plus materials, you're making money. It's good. You're making money doing something off your own back, and that's the coolest thing. But just look at the world and look at what you're doing in your own life and what your friends are doing, and think, right, is there anything that I could do that they need? Is there anything that I like doing that I could do and make money out of? Yes, then go and do it. What's stopping people is the fear of them failing or doing something wrong, which is fucking stupid and dumb, because as I've already said, we're all going to die. So just go and just fucking go and mess stuff up. It's fucking fine. Who gives a shit? We spend so much money on shit we don't need. Why not try and spend that money on buying some stocks or buying some materials to facilitate the making of lots of money, instead of biscuits that are going to make you fat and unhealthy, or something along those lines. Look, there's paint going all over my hands. Yeah, so the moral of this podcast is go and fucking do shit and stop being a bellend. Have a good week and tune in to the next one, whenever that fucking is. And be nice to your mothers and fathers and all the people in your life. Unless they're a knobhead, give them a slap. Or just tell them. Yeah. Lick at the butt. Look at this. Also, stop being a bitch.